Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shipstorm TV. Out at sea, the ocean shows no mercy. One moment it's calm, the next it's fire, steel, and waves towering higher than houses. What you're about to see are real moments, raw, intense, and unforgettable. Get ready, because out here, survival hangs by the thinnest thread against the ocean's fury. March 6, 2025. Flames erupt inside the EV deck of the Morning Midas. Crews fight for months, but the fire never yields. By June 24th, the ocean claims her, along with thousands of cars. A ship once towering with steel and life, now lost forever beneath the waves. A ship drifts, out of control, no brakes, no escape. In a heartbeat, steel slams into concrete. The sound is thunder, the impact, devastating. And when the chaos clears, all that remains is shattered metal and silence. One wrong move, and it's over. No second chances. Steel slams into concrete with bone-shaking force. The Blue Star runs aground, helpless. A small boat crashes into the USS Midway. Chaos, disbelief. In mere seconds, dreams sink and lives hang by a thread.
Передо мной есть. Да нет, не то, что делаю, такая вещь, не надо, что ли? Да, что?
In Norway, a massive cement carrier malfunctions, slamming straight into luxury yachts. In seconds, millions sink in splintered wood and twisted steel. And somewhere else, tempers flare as crews shout, each swearing it's not their fault. But out here, blame doesn't matter. The ocean always collects the price. Tourists laugh, cheering as waves slam against the glass, like it's all part of the show. But then, the window bursts. Screams replace laughter. Joy flips to panic in a single heartbeat. That's the sea, inviting, thrilling, and in the very next breath, utterly ruthless. From Turkey's ports to the wild Atlantic, nature unleashes chaos. A ship tilts, 24 containers crash into the sea. Elsewhere, waves slam decks like hammers, and tourists flee a collapsing beach. No matter how strong we build, the ocean always proves. It writes the final chapter. Just when you think you've seen it all, nature flips the script. South Africa's coast buried under mountains of sea foam, like a dream. Then ice collapses with thunder, and hail the size of fists pounds the ocean. Beautiful one second, terrifying the next. The sea never ever plays by our rules. I chart. Not every disaster comes from the sea itself. In disputed waters, Japanese patrols slam into Chinese ships, politics colliding in steel. Far south, Sea Shepherd activists charge head-on at whalers, risking everything. Out here, it's not just storms that threaten lives. It's the battles between men. And then come the predators. Out of nowhere, a shark strikes. Jaws wide, lightning fast. Elsewhere, an orca shadows a small boat, relentless in pursuit. To the ocean's hunters, we're not explorers or tourists. We're trespassers in their domain, and survival hangs by a thread.
There we go. He's in the cage.
There's one coming right under our boat. Oh my God.
Steel bends, metal screams, and waves tower like living giants. A ship, once a fortress of steel, now tossed like driftwood, powerless against the fury around it. In these moments, you realize the ocean doesn't care how big you are. It decides who survives and who disappears forever. Morning calm, evening chaos. Waves tower like buildings, winds roar like jet engines, and a ship, tiny against the storm, fights for every breath. The ocean can kiss you with sunrise, then crush you by sunset. Out here, survival isn't promised. It's borrowed, moment by moment. Out here, danger doesn't roar, it snaps. A single mooring line, stretched like steel lightning, can break without warning. One crack, and it's life or death in a heartbeat. These men don't just dock ships, they gamble with fate so the rest of us stay safe. Engines roar, steel creaks, but it's the sailors who bear the weight of the storm. Sweat, focus, and unshakable will. That's what keeps a vessel alive. Ships may bend, they may break, but the courage of those at the helm is what truly carries them forward. Welcome back to Shipstorm TV, where the ocean's beauty collides with its fury. Tonight, we dive into shipwrecks, tempests, and raw natural power, until we reach the human story of a lonely lighthouse keeper. Imagine giant vessels slicing waves, sails straining against raging winds. But what happens when the sea strikes back? Stay tuned, subscribe, and witness courage, skill, and survival at the edge of the deep.
Shit.
In Taiwan's busy port, two giants of steel edge too close. One wrong move, too late to turn. The sound of metal grinding fills the air, echoing like thunder. Crowds watch in shock as chaos erupts right at the dock. In Hamburg, Germany, calm waters hide disaster. A massive container ship drifts off course, bearing down on a docked cruise vessel. The impact is sudden, brutal. Metal crushes against metal. Passengers and crew frozen, powerless to stop the unfolding chaos. In Indonesia, chaos erupts in seconds. A massive container ship veers out of control, unstoppable as it slams into a towering port crane. Steel bends. The giant structure collapses with a deafening roar. Workers scatter, hearts pounding at the brink of disaster.
May tao doon sa crane, may tao sa
In Ecuador, an ordinary day turns shocking. A small vessel drifts off course and slams into a pedestrian bridge. In an instant, concrete shatters. The structure collapses into the water. Onlookers gasp. One careless moment transforms the harbor into chaos.
Halatlara bakacağız, halatlara. Sen git halatlara bak, halatlara. Halatlara git, başlara bak. Halat boş. Başa.
In Buenos Aires, Argentina, crowds watch in disbelief. The massive cruise ship orchestra approaches. But something's wrong. It doesn't slow, it doesn't turn. Instead, it plows straight into the pier. The crash is thunderous, steel against stone, panic rippling through the harbor. In Bangladesh, the sea shows no mercy. A tiny wooden boat battles towering waves, each crash threatening to tear it apart. The crew clings desperately, faces etched with fear and defiance. One wrong move, and the ocean swallows them whole.
¡Es un huracán! ¡No me jodas, tío! ¡Se cae la botella! ¡Es que se ha abierto la ventana!
In Canada's Welland Canal, danger strikes without warning. Strong winds and poor visibility push two massive ships off course. Slowly but inevitably, steel collides with steel. The grinding impact echoes across the water, proof that even calm canals can turn deadly. Off Australia's coast, a nightmare unfolds. A massive cargo ship loses control, drifting with unstoppable force toward an anchored vessel. Crews can only watch in dread. The collision is brutal, steel crumpling, waves exploding, the harbor echoing with chaos and fear. In Russia, a raging storm unleashes chaos. A cargo ship fights brutal winds, but nature proves stronger. One by one, 52 vehicles are torn from the deck and hurled into the sea. Metal vanishes beneath the waves, millions lost in minutes.
¡Es un huracán! ¡No me jodas, tío! ¡Se cae la botella! ¡Es que se ha abierto la ventana! No, salimos de aquí, que nos cae algo y nos mata.
In the Philippines, disaster ignites in seconds. A massive oil tanker collides with a container ship, and the impact sparks an inferno. Flames race across the decks, black smoke choking the sky. Crews scramble for survival as the sea itself burns. A routine day at the port turns into disaster. A massive container forklift tilts, balance lost in an instant. With a deafening crash, it topples straight into the sea. Workers freeze in shock, proof that even small mistakes carry huge costs. Off Yemen's coast in 2025, chaos comes with a twist. Hundreds of sheep aboard a livestock carrier as it suddenly capsizes. Rescuers rush in, fighting waves and panic. It's a surreal mix of danger and disbelief, like Noah's Ark gone terribly wrong. In open waters, a group of fishermen gets the scare of their lives. A speeding boat barrels straight toward them. At the very last second, they leap to safety. One heartbeat slower, and it's tragedy. One quicker, it's comedy of survival. In the icy waters of the Faroe Islands, a high-stakes chase erupts. A fishing vessel, accused of illegal catch, floors its engines to escape. But the sea allows no hiding. Metal clashes as it collides with a patrol ship. Tension skyrockets. Two racing boats, neck and neck, slicing through the water, until disaster nearly strikes. In a blink, they're inches from collision. One sailor's lightning-fast reflex saves the day. It's pure adrenaline, and just a dash of slapstick nautical style. In the heart of the sea, far from the noise of the world, stands the lighthouse keeper, alone, with nothing but crashing waves and the endless wind. No internet, no markets, just the unbroken duty to keep the light burning. For centuries, they've guarded ships from hidden reefs and deadly shallows, often at the cost of their own comfort, even safety. Supplies come only every few weeks. Storms come without warning. To some, it's a peaceful paradise. To others, it's isolation carved deep into the soul. But in both, it's a calling, an unshakable vow to stand between the ocean and those who dare cross it. The sea is never truly calm. It humbles even the strongest. Every wreck, every storm is a warning. Respect the ocean or pay the price. From sailors and pilots to lighthouse keepers, these silent warriors remind us the ocean is both cradle and crucible of life. Humanity doesn't conquer the sea. We adapt, endure, and embrace our smallness. Like, comment, and subscribe to Shipstorm TV for more gripping stories ahead.